I looked at her and said, "Then I truly hope you find what you're looking for." But what she found when she came back was someone who stopped waiting. It all began while I was folding laundry. That's when Maya dropped the bomb. We had been married for 7 years, together for 10. She stood in the doorway and said the words that started it all. "Marcus, we need to talk." I didn't look up right away. "What's going on?" I asked, still folding her yoga pants. "I've been feeling trapped. Like somewhere along the way, I lost who I am." I finally looked up. "Okay, do you want to talk about it?" "I don't want to be a wife right now," she said. "I need to find myself." I paused. "What does that even mean?" "I want to move back into my old apartment. Just for a while. I need time to rediscover who I am without being Marcus's wife." "So, you're asking for a separation?" "Not a legal one. Just space," she explained. "I want to travel. Maybe take that art residency in Portland. Backpack through Europe. I've never been single as an adult, Marcus. I went from my parents' house to college to living with you." I set the laundry down. "How long are we talking?" "I don't know. 6 months? A year? However long it takes to figure things out." "And what about us?" "We're married, Maya." "That won't change," she said quickly. "I just need to not be a wife for a while. You understand, don't you?" I stared at her for a long, silent moment. She had already packed. Her suitcase was sitting by the door. "Then I hope you find what you're looking for." She gave a relieved smile. "I knew you'd understand. This doesn't change how I feel about you." But of course, it did. She moved out that weekend. Left her wedding rings on the dresser. Changed her last name back on social media. The works. First thing Monday, I called a lawyer. She wants to remain married, but live separately while she finds herself. "That's the situation," I replied. "I want to protect myself. What are my options?" We discussed legal separation versus divorce, asset protection, the apartment I bought before we got married, which was still only in my name. Fortunately, our finances were mostly separate. The lawyer told me, if she's abandoning the marital home, start documenting everything. So, I did. I took photos of her empty drawers, the wedding rings she left behind, and screenshots of her social media updates. I even saved the text where she said she needed to not be a wife. By week 2, she was in Portland, smiling in selfies, surrounded by art supplies. "Finding myself. New chapter," she wrote. Then her mother called. "Marcus, what's this about Maya in Portland?" "She's trying to find herself." "What does that mean?" "Are you two having problems?" "Ask Maya. She's the one who didn't want to be a wife anymore." "But you're still legally married." "For now." I started therapy. Not because I was falling apart, but because I needed clarity. My therapist was blunt. She wants the security of marriage without any of the responsibilities. And that's not okay with me, I told her. 3 months in, Maya was thriving. Her Instagram became a travel diary. Europe, mountain hikes, wine tastings, hostel friends. Hashtags like #solo travel and #freebird. Meanwhile, I was managing everything: mortgage, bills, even her car insurance, which was still under my policy. I got calls from her dentist about missed appointments. A coworker commented, "Dude, you look different. Been working out?" "Yeah, I've got time now." I started hitting the gym at 5 a.m., cooking my own meals instead of her usual takeout, and I finally enrolled in that woodworking class I'd been putting off. Funny how much life opens up when you stop waiting for someone else to come back. Then Nora joined our team. She was smart, funny, reliable. "Hey, great presentation," she said after one meeting. "Want to grab coffee and talk about implementation?" We went. Coffee turned into lunch. Strictly professional, at first. But she made me laugh. She was present. Something I hadn't felt in a long time. Around month 4, Maya's friend just called. "How are you holding up?" "I'm fine." "Why?" "Maya says you've stopped replying to her texts. She sends travel updates." "What am I supposed to say to having sangria in Barcelona?" "She says you're being distant." "I'm giving her the space she asked for. She still wants to know you're there." I was. "I'm just not waiting anymore." Update 1. 6 months later. Maya returned after 8 months, unannounced. It was a Sunday morning. She showed up with a golden tan and a nose ring. Hi. I opened the door wider. Hey. She walked in like she still lived there, dropped her backpack near the coat closet. Then she froze when she saw the changes. You redecorated, renovated. You turned my craft room into a workshop. The spare room, I corrected. You took all your craft supplies. She wandered around, taking it all in. New couch, new artwork, my own photography from the class. The workshop filled with half-finished furniture projects. It looks different. Coffee. We sat at the kitchen table. It felt like a business meeting. So, I found myself, she announced. Good for you. I realized I was burnt out, needed to reconnect with my art. But I also realized something else. She hesitated. I missed us. I'm ready to be a wife again. Okay, that's it? Aren't you going to say you miss me? That you're glad I'm back? I did miss you for the first 3 months. Then I started moving on. Her face fell. What does that mean? It means I stopped being the husband waiting for the wife who didn't want to be one. But I'm back now. I found myself. I'm happy for you, Maya. Truly. But I found myself, too. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm not the same man who was folding your laundry while you told me you were leaving. I'm not anyone's safety net. Tears welled in her eyes. Safety net? I'm your wife. You made it clear you didn't want to be. She tried moving back in, but I had already changed the locks on my lawyer's advice. Are you serious? This is my home. No. This is my apartment. I bought it before we married. You abandoned it. I was finding myself. In Portland, then Prague, then Peru. And I was here, paying the mortgage. The entitlement got worse once she realized I wasn't budging. She crashed at Jess's, but it wasn't sustainable. You can't just lock me out. I have rights. Talk to your lawyer. Lawyer? For what? For the divorce you're about to be served with. Cue shocked Pikachu face. Divorce? I don't want a divorce. Neither did I. But I also didn't want a wife who wanted to stop being one for 8 months. Then came the love bombing. Late-night texts. Wedding photos. Remember when? But the word she kept using was were. We were so good together. Her mom called, crying. Marcus, she made a mistake. She's hurting. She made a choice for 8 months. Her dad tried a different angle. Marriage is about forgiveness. It's also about presence. She wasn't. Then the game started. Maya began coincidentally showing up at my gym. My coffee shop. Oh, Marcus. Fancy seeing you here. You live across town, Maya. This isn't coincidence. Can we just talk as friends? We're not friends. We're getting divorced. She posted online about her lost creative space and how I destroyed her sanctuary. Left out the part where she abandoned it. Her followers took her side. Men are so heartless. I posted once. Hard to steal a room in my apartment that was empty for 8 months. The timeline didn't add up. People noticed. Update 2. It got worse. She hired a lawyer who had clearly heard a very different version. My client says you locked her out after a short vacation. My lawyer. 8 months is a vacation? Here's her social feed. Her text saying she didn't want to be a wife. Her lawyer. She was working on personal growth. My lawyer. While abandoning her marriage. Then Maya tried draining our joint savings. The bank flagged it. She hadn't touched the account in months. Then she went nuclear. Showed up at my job. Told the receptionist there was a family emergency. Security called me down. She was standing in the lobby. With a suitcase. I have nowhere to go. My husband locked me out. In front of everyone, I said, we're getting divorced. You left. She started crying. I just needed time. You got 8 months. Security escorted her out. You're heartless. I gave you 7 years, and then 8 months to find yourself. I hope it was worth it. She launched a full smear campaign online. Claimed she went on a short mental health break and came back to find her life stolen. He threw away my things. Took over my art room. change the locks. But I had receipts, literal ones. Storage unit photos. Documentation. Box labels. Dated and time-stamped. My response? Your stuff's in storage unit 447. Here's the key. Friends picked sides. The ones who knew the truth stood by me. Newer ones got swayed by her victim stories. She even tried guilt-tripping me through mutuals. Jess, she's crying every night. She was laughing in Barcelona. The final straw? She filed for spousal support. She gave up career opportunities to support the marriage, her lawyer claimed. Mine laughed. Out loud. She left voluntarily. Spent 8 months on an art residency and wine tours. The judge wasn't impressed. Miss Chun, you left the marital home for 8 months. Were you employed? I was focusing on personal growth. So, no. And now you want support? I sacrificed for the marriage by leaving it. Final update. 1 year later. The divorce was finalized 3 months ago. She fought it until the end, but reality has a funny way of catching up. She got her stuff. A small cut from our shared savings. No spousal support. At the final signing, she tried one last time. We could still go to counseling. Work it out. I said, you wanted to find yourself. I found someone who actually shows up. Remember Nora from work? We started dating after the divorce was filed. Took it slow. She knew everything. Just so I know, she asked, I'm not a rebound, right?
No.
You're someone who's here. Nora shows up for the boring stuff. Helps sand the table we built together. Includes me in decisions. Maya still texts sometimes. I miss us. I don't respond. Last I heard, she's back at her parents', still posting about her journey. Still claiming she was punished for choosing self-care. Her mom called recently. She's not doing well. I'm sorry to hear that. Maybe if you just talk to her. She wanted to find herself. She needs to figure out what to do with what she found. You've changed.
Yeah.
Happens when your wife decides she doesn't want to be one. The workshop's coming along. I built a dining table last month. Nora helped. She was right about one thing. Maya did need to find herself. Turns out she found someone who runs when things get hard and expects everything to be waiting when she returns. I found someone better. I found myself, too. Funny how that works.